Hello, everyone. I'm Deputy Director of Communications Diana Paul, filling in for David Riggleman. Thanks for joining us for Access City Council. The Arts District showcases an eclectic blend of murals and shops and is now tapping into new businesses with the growth of Brewery Row. Joining us with more on the Arts District and all the exciting things happening in Ward 3 is Councilwoman Olivia Diaz. Thank you for being here today.
Well, it's great to have a fresh face here on Access, Diana.
Thank you. If you're not familiar with Ward 3, here's a map of where it's located. Councilwoman, can you give us a quick idea for those who may not know where the boundaries are?
I have the blue area on this map. It's the easternmost part of the city, so Owens to Nellis, Nellis to Charleston. It kind of comes around Boulder Highwish to Fremont, Fremont to Sahara. Back up Main is where you see it right there adjacent to 15, but then on the other side of the 15 now I've gained Area 15 and Palace Station, so anything Sahara to DI, the 15 to about Decatur-ish is now me too.
Wow, continuing to grow and expand for sure.
Yes.
Well, joining us today is Jamie Gellis, Neighborhood Revitalization Consultant to the City of Las Vegas. Thanks for joining us, Jamie.
Absolutely. Happy to be here.
Yeah, well, we're here to talk about the Arts District. Now, the Arts District, which is located downtown, has seen a lot of changes over the last few years. For those people that maybe haven't stopped to the Arts District to check it out, describe what that area is like today.
Well, Diana, a lot of folks who haven't come to our Arts District are really missing out, and I hope that after tuning in today, get excited and seize the opportunity to come visit, because it has become this eclectic art scene, and it offers a lot of different opportunities for folks to not only shop, check out some art, very awesome art galleries that are there and vintage shops, but there's so many eateries now, breweries, and just good places to hang out and have a great time that I think that, it has come a very long ways from, for example, when I was born and raised here, it was highly industrial, more commercial and industrial than what it is increasingly evolving to. And I think that that's an exciting project for us as a city to see that there was folks with the vision to revive an area into something that was missing. And increasingly, I think the arts and culture space is one that every city is seeking to use and harness as a way to also diversify our economies.
Yeah, the city's been doing a great job over the years in looking into that area, setting new standards, things like Brewery Row. And also the next step to the Arts District is creating a master plan, and this is where Jamie comes in. So tell us a little bit about how this master plan concept came forward.
Well, about a year ago, the city reached out. I've been doing neighborhood revitalization work in Councilwoman Diaz's ward and Councilman Creer's ward. And the city reached out and said, the Arts District is on the precipice of some significant change. After kind of a slow emergence, which is natural in a lot of these arts districts, they tend to be very organic and grow that way, driven by the artist community. There's a lot of interest. People want to be there. Businesses want to be there. Development is starting to happen in a way the city hasn't seen before. And the big question the city had is, what is our role in preserving the vibe and the culture and the creative community that has started to form over the last few decades, really? And they wanted us to go out and work with the community to understand what was their vision for the Arts District and how the city can best support that. So we've been doing that over the course of the last year, and it's been a tremendous effort that's involved hundreds of interviews, surveys, working with a lot of different city departments to kind of understand what their role has been in the Arts District, and trying to set a course for what is the vision for the future. And I think what we heard loud and clear is the community, and not just the artist community or the people that are in the district, the community as a whole in Las Vegas feels it's very important for the city to invest in retaining the creative community, creative spaces, art, and all of that, even as the neighborhood develops. And so we've been working really hard on establishing a clear vision that everybody can rally around, and then steps for how the city can work with the community to do that.
That's great. And so what are some of the key recommendations that you've come up with?
Well, in a changing community like this, what we know is that it tends to get more costly to have space there as development happens. Maybe some of those old industrial spaces, as Councilwoman referenced, that were once perfect for artists, artist uses, artist galleries, artist workspaces, they might get gobbled up. They might get developed, higher uses, which is all positive change. But as that happens, how do we protect that? So we're looking at a number of different initiatives, and one that I was very excited that City Council approved a few weeks ago is funding for a project working with a group called ArtSpace, and they're a not-for-profit housing developer that does work all over the country, and specifically they build affordable artist live workspace. And all of their developments have also a ground floor community cultural component. Could be a ballet studio, could be a black box theater, could be artist workspaces. They mold it to what the community needs. So that directly addresses affordability. We're also looking at how to do that through some changes to our zoning and some additional incentives through our economic development department that would be targeted towards creatives. And also really looking at how we bring the community as a whole together to help fund and support artist initiative and artist needs long term, and really help that business community and that creative community connect. So there's a lot going on, but I think big picture, we're trying to get everybody working together around that vision to implement and be sure that in perpetuity, the Arts District is more than just a name. It's actually a destination where creatives live, work, and where people can come and meet the artists of the community of Las Vegas.
That sounds great. And Councilwoman, why is it so important to have this kind of investment in your ward in the Arts District?
Well, one, the city has stepped up significantly in investing in everything infrastructure. So we're redoing all of our streets in the Arts District, and that's a major, major investment. But two, we want to be forward thinking, and we want to take this opportunity and this momentum that, a spark happened there. It's vibrant, it's happening, and we don't want it to fade. We don't want it to die. If anything, we want to chart the course and make sure that we are making it the best version it can be every step of the way, and continue to support everyone in the ecosystem, because we know that there's all kinds of folks and businesses and development happening, and that is okay, but we just need to make sure that we're not losing our essence as the Arts District, because I think that has been a concern of many people, that we have our local theater companies here, we have lots of talented artists, so how can we create the most vibrant Arts District for the city of Las Vegas that can enable people to not only work there, but also live and play with everybody else.
Yeah, you mentioned that the city has invested a lot of infrastructure. We have new parking garage that's going to be opening near the Arts District, because we've heard complaints about not enough parking, and that's a good thing to have.
So we've added, for folks who haven't been down here a minute, we've added 500 stalls in just the surface parking lots alone. We're looking to add a parking garage in the next 2 to 3 years. That would also be an added amenity, and we're also looking about how do we use maybe part of that parking structure as other space where we can allow some kind of artistic element to happen. We still don't know what that's going to be, but can we carve out some space there? And then very excited about this affordable housing concept, being able to come and scout us out and say, yes, this is a place that we should identify and try to create a project in. And then there's so many other projects already in the queue that will bring more rooftops or more spaces and places for people to live in the near future. And so within 3 to 4 years, we're going to continue to see that growth and development of the Arts District just continue to happen. But we want to make sure that we're not losing sight of being intentional, being a united front, and collaborating as much as possible, city with the entire folks that live there, work there, and play there.
Jamie, the councilwoman mentioned there's a lot of things going on in the Arts District. We have the art component, but we also have the restaurants. We have new housing that's already actually open in the Arts District. Brewery Row, which is a very successful area. How do all these work together?
Well, that's a good question. I think one of the goals of the master plan is how do we connect all the dots and also connect the Arts District to the broader community in Las Vegas and to the entertainment areas, and really try to connect the dots. One of the things we heard loud and clear in the visioning part of this is that people really see the Arts District as the epicenter of arts and culture, also a place to gather and come together for the local community. But there are ties that we think can be strengthened to what happens beyond the Arts District and how we really become a catalyst in the Arts District to connect people to jobs in creative sectors and creative industries and artistic opportunities that maybe aren't connecting the dots. People in the Arts District really want to see that is the birthplace and sort of the exporter of local Vegas culture and talent in a creative way.
Yeah, you mentioned that connection. We have things like the Smith Center that are nearby. We also have several cultural centers, East Las Vegas. We have a lot of senior centers, community centers that are all doing this type of work, and you want to offer these services to everyone in the community. So there is a part of this that will maybe look at some of those other connectors.
Absolutely. I think the whole goal of the plan was to connect the dots, and that's what we've really tried to do with all of these opportunities throughout the city and beyond, is how do we connect and really create opportunities for our artists and creatives in our community.
Great. And what's the timeline like? When do you think we'll start seeing some of these recommendations come forward?
Well, immediately. And that was the exciting thing when we presented the plan to council a few weeks ago. On that same day, they approved funding to start moving the Art Space Affordable Housing, Artist Housing project forward. In the next few weeks, we're going to be launching a look at the zoning effort, as well as kind of a community collaborative funding tool to help support artists. So we didn't even take a breath between plan, delivery, and implementation, and that was really intentional, that we have a pathway for every part of the plan to start on implementation within the next year.
That's great. And Councilwoman, what do you want your citizens to know? Maybe those who haven't come down to the Arts District before. What do you want them to know about that area?
I want them to know that it's for the enjoyment of all community members, that there's offerings for everyone, that it's family friendly. I see so many more young families enjoying a good time because we've been very, very intentional and made concerted efforts to make sure that it's a walkable neighborhood. And so we've widened the sidewalks. If you're there in the evening, you'll see our festoon lighting and all its glamour. And so I just really want them to know that you can have an amazing birthday celebration. You can have an amazing retirement party for your loved one. First Friday, obviously, is a big hit. And so every first Friday of the month, that area also is just it's just happening. I can't even describe. You have to come and experience it for yourself. And I just hope that people come, and also a lot of them are locally grown businesses, which I think is important in making sure that we're supporting these entrepreneurs who have been gritty, who have been the ones that are like launching their concepts, and then hopefully for example, Makers and Finders, it was their very first home, and now you go to very many different places and spaces and you see Makers and Finders. So I'm very proud of the fact that sometimes we are the hub where a lot of these concepts are developed and started, and it takes a lot of investment, a lot of grit, determination. But I would hope that everybody comes and just sees all of the amazing offerings, from sushi to Houston's Hot Chicken to Garage's to Esther's Kitchen. I mean, there's for all tastes, so you can't go wrong. Come in to visit and have a phenomenal time. Obviously, some spaces are more adult, 21 and over, but you just got to do your due diligence. And also, I would say go on our Go Vegas app so that you can kind of get a sense of where our parking is. And a lot of people will come and not see any street parking, but don't be discouraged, because we have so many surface lots in close proximity, and we have security guards there. So gone are those days, I think, where people felt on edge visiting the Arts District. It really has evolved into this very family-oriented, eclectic, vibrant space that we want everyone to come on over and enjoy.
Yeah, that's a really good point. People can go to our website, find out where to park. We have a map that shows all the different areas. And Jamie, last question, how do people get involved with this initiative as you're moving forward?
Well, we are setting up a site on the city's webpage where you'll be able to see the full report, all the wonderful survey findings we heard back from the community, and we'll be keeping people updated through that tool. So stay tuned. There's more to come in the next month, I would say, as we start to roll out all these initiatives. We'll be keeping the community informed as to how they can plug into all the exciting stuff going on.
That's great. Thanks so much, Jamie.
Yeah, thank you.
We're back with more Access City Council after a short break.
Había un niño que era muy sensible a luces y sonidos. Construía escondites donde no podían entrar. No le gustaba mirar a la gente a los ojos, lo hacía sentir incómodo. Un día se descubrió que tenía autismo. Con ayuda, poco a poco, aprendió a vivir mejor con ello.
Mientras más pronto se diagnostique, mejor. Conoce las señales en autismspeaks.org.
Me llamo Raquel Mendoza y esta es mi vida. Mis hijos están envueltos en muchas actividades. Eso requiere mucho estrés y correr para acá y para allá. A veces mi familia necesita un escape. Este lugar trae mucha paz y hay mucha calma, mucha naturaleza. Quiero regresar con mi familia más seguido.
Encuentra el bosque más cercano en descubreelbosque.org. El Bosque, más cerca de lo que crees.
Thanks for joining us. There are many events coming up in Ward 3, as there always are. We have a really exciting one. You opened a brand new park.
Yes, finally, after many years of planning this park, I think since I arrived on the council, I've been briefed and brought up to speed on it. But Arroyo Vista is our very first equestrian-themed park in Ward 3. It's going to be located right across, or it is located across from Harris Marion, where Robeson Middle School is, and it's adjacent the Wash. So we're very, very excited to bring this new offering because we know that on the east side of our city, we have a long ways to go to move the needle to offer more green and open spaces to our community. We're not at the ratio of what we want to offer in terms of quality of life, and these spaces that we know are near and dear to our families, and especially you and I who have younger children. We know that it's a place where they need to go run out their energies, but then it's life memories that are being seared in our kids and our hearts and minds, because these are moments that we get to spend together, quality time as a family. And then also we know we got to kind of step outdoors and get grounded sometimes, because sometimes we're so behind our laptops and our devices, but it's so nice to be with nature too.
Definitely, especially in this weather. And I was surprised. I didn't realize that there's horse property on the east side.
Yeah, so adjacent this park, we have quite a bit of quarter-acre lots and homes that were annexed to us from being in the county, but they're horse-zoned properties. And so by virtue of the adjacency, that's kind of where this park concept developed, and offering that adjacent community the opportunity to bring their horses by and do a little bit of training with them and showcasing their talents and skills. And so I'm super excited. We're also not just offering the space for horses, but there's a soccer field that's there, and also playground equipment for our kids.
That's really sounds like a really unique park. To have horses, the ability to walk your horse, but also playground and some of the more traditional.
It turned out amazing. So I hope those folks that are tuning in locate where it is and maximize it being now adjacent them.
Yeah, that's great. Hispanic Heritage Month is also underway through December 2nd. A lot of events that have been taking place. One of the events coming up is Once Upon a Quince.
Yes, so we wanted to offer the opportunity to families that are sometimes struggling economically and don't have the means to offer a party of this magnitude. You and I being Latinas, we know what it takes to pull off a quinceañera. It's a lot of resources, from the dress to the food you feed your guests and the place where it's going to happen. And so sometimes it's cost prohibitive for some of our families. So what we're trying to do is offer some of these families the opportunity to do a Once Upon a Quince together, so that we're taking that burden off of the families, but still allowing those quinceañeras to celebrate and feel beautiful.
Yeah, that's so nice.
It's like a coming of age for us Latina women. Like at 15, it's supposed to be, you're now more mature, you're more a lady, and we want to continue to see you develop into this awesome individual for our community. So we're excited to get to host the second one at East Las Vegas.
Yeah, that's great. And for people who are interested, there's a lot more events taking place until December. You can go to our website and find a full listing of all those events.
Yes.
Another event coming up is Art in the Park, which is a great event in this weather in October. It's going to be October 14th downtown.
Finally, we're getting the cooler temperatures and we're all kind of inching at being outdoors a little bit more. And we want to also make it, take advantage of the time that we have this very brief window before it gets too cold, because that's how we are in a desert, very extreme. But Art in the Park, we're for the day opening 100 Circle Park for the festivities, and we're allowing a lot of artist vendors to come to this event and pop up. So we want to extend the invite if there's someone tuning in right now that would want to partake and be part of these festivities and offer something to the neighborhood. Please call us and we'll make it happen. And you have until October 11th to do so. And the event is on the 14th.
That's great. There's also a health fair coming up at the East Las Vegas Community Center.
Yes, the Binational Health Fair is something that we partner up with REACH, is a nonprofit organization that helps provide health care to folks without access to health insurance, and then also the Mexican Consul's office, and that's why it's binational, because it's Mexico, U.S. working together collectively to bring some more of the health services to our community that may have a need. Sometimes you're between jobs, the new job doesn't offer health insurance to you or your family members. Maybe some screenings have fallen between the cracks. Maybe there's a prescription that you need. So for this fair, we have doctors there on site being able to prescribe medication that is a need. They'll be doing all the glucose and blood pressure screenings. There's going to be the COVID and flu shots, and I know I'm kind of be in that line signing up to get my COVID and my flu shot once again, because the flu season is here, and there's so many more connections and abilities to route our community to mammograms and other very, very important and life-saving health screenings.
It's very important to get those done for sure.
So that's going to be at East Las Vegas Community
That's great.
Center.
October is always such a busy month. There's
Very
so much
busy.
happening. We also have the Las Vegas Book Festival, which is a great event that's taking place October 21st.
I'm a teacher, and I'm just such a nerd when it comes to books. So my love for books my passion for it is still there. I think my English teacher kind of fostered that when I was in high school, and I really love this event, and I wish more and more folks knew about it and spread the good word. It really is. They have amazing writers coming to provide insights about what motivated them to write their bestsellers or their books. There's just different offerings, and I know we're also working towards augmenting our Spanish literature offerings and also providing a little bit more for different languages in the community. And so I'm really excited that it takes place at our historic 5th Street School in downtown, proudly in Ward 3. And so I hope folks find the time to stop by there October 21st. It is a Saturday, 10 to 6. And I wish that teachers would make it extra credit for their students, because I really feel like it's a value still
That's a great idea.
curl up to a book and kind of leave a device to the side. We just need those breaks from technology.
Definitely. Last thing going on at the end of the month, you have a fall concert in the park. This is at the 3rd Street Promenade, which is kind of a unique location for a concert. We just opened this area a few years ago.
Increasingly, we want to make sure we're activating this investment that we made as a city along that promenade. I know that, when we don't activate, sometimes other things happen, and so we don't want those other things happening. And this is a way that we're offering the adjacency in the community, a way to also bond. And we have the high rise right there in front of it, and so it's a good motivation, I think, to have those neighbors come on down from their high rise and kind of interface and meet their other adjacent neighbors in a really cool, amazing way. And I've heard that Park Asteroid Halloween block parties don't disappoint, that they're really, really amazing treats, and it's all for free. So we're offering this for free to our community. So we hope that they'll join us there October 28th from 7 to 11 right off of Hoover and Gas.
Great. And again, people can go to your website, your web pages, your social media to find out all the events that are happening. But there's always a lot going on.
There's so much
keep you busy.
more always.
Yeah, well, thank you. We always want to hear from you, so you have something you want to share with Councilwoman Diaz. You can find her on Facebook. Well, it's now X, which formerly known as Twitter, and Instagram. You can also contact the Councilwoman at 702-229-4623 or send her an email at odiaz@lasvegasnevada.gov. Don't miss our next show beginning October 12th with Ward 4 Councilwoman Frances Allen Pilecki. You can catch all of our KCLV shows on Apple TV, Roku, and Amazon Fire. Also, watch for our QR code at the end of the show to subscribe to our newsletter. And don't forget, you can watch us live on the internet at kclv.tv. Thanks for joining us, everyone, and we'll see you next time around.